Web pages, the building block of websites, are written in three languages, namely HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Files containing instructions from these three languages, together with other resources like audio, video, images, etc., make up the web pages that users then view on the browser. Anyone, therefore, who desires to become a fully fledged web developer, otherwise known as a front-end developer, has to gain at the very least a mastery of the basics of these three languages. In this lesson, we will look at the role that each of these languages plays in a web page. So let's look at the three languages that web pages are made of. Let's start with HTML. HTML is actually the main language of web pages and the web. It specifies all the content that is displayed on the page. This includes all the text, references to all the images, video, audio files, etc. that are included on the page. In fact, it is for this reason why generally a web page is in fact an HTML file like index.html or aboutus.html, etc., which contains HTML instructions. HTML, therefore, is actually enough in and of itself to create a very plain web page or website. It also contains extra information about the web page. For instance, the title of the page displayed on the browser's tab. So in short, HTML specifies all of the content of a web page. Next, let's consider CSS. CSS is to HTML what a stylist is to an otherwise dull guy. It is the language that is responsible for styling a web page. In its latest version, called CSS 3, it even allows us to do things like animate HTML elements, like making an image shake periodically, or when, say, the user hovers over it with the mouse pointer. So in short, CSS adds style to the HTML or web page, and to a degree it also adds a bit of behavior, such as changing certain aspects of things on the page when a mouse pointer hovers over them. Last but definitely not least, let's look at JavaScript. JavaScript is to HTML what the breath of life is to a body. It is the language that is responsible for allowing the web page to be interactive with the user. It is because of JavaScript that a website can graduate to a web app that does not just show user content, but allows users to do something useful on the page, like a page that is a calculator or a game or a chat app. In summary, HTML is what contains the content of a web page. CSS is what is responsible for styling the web page. JavaScript allows the web page to be interactive, thus allowing the developer to turn a website into a web app, which is simply a website that interacts with users to perform a specific task. And that brings us to the end of our lesson. Next up, we will download and install our first tools that we will use to start creating web pages. Woo-woo! You can watch other tutorials over here, and most importantly, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you don't miss out on tutorials as they come out. Have you subscribed? Are you done? Okay, cool.